The downfall with Jackson Arnold was, I don't know. I mean, really, all season has been rough for Jackson, but I mean, we really gave him the benefit of the doubt until the Tennessee game. The Tennessee game was just bad. I mean, it was bad enough the first, the first possession, or not the first possession, but his first turnover of the game. You can clearly see the guy is covered from a mile away, and he throws the ball in the triple coverage, and it's turned over, which leads to the flip and build position, and then which in turn leads to Tennessee's first points. I don't think Tennessee scored on the immediate possession after that, but they were able to flip the field, and then the possession after that, they had a shorter field and scored pretty easily. The second turnover of the game, OU's defense had just forced a turnover at the 5 yard line, 4 yard line, and then Jackson Arnold probably should have handed the ball off, but he tried to take it for himself and got stripped. The funny thing is, it looked like he got stripped by his own teammate on the field. Then, like, I had to go back in and watch the game, or watch the replay after the game, because it looked like one of the offensive linemen stripped the ball out of Jackson Arnold's hands, but it didn't. But yeah, it was on Jackson Arnold. Like, third turnover was probably the worst turnover I've ever seen in my life by a quarterback at the University of Oklahoma. I mean, the way that the defense was aligned, it clearly favors a run front. I mean, Brent even brought this up in the post-game press conference. He should have handed the ball off. Every time on that front, you hand the ball off. But for some reason, he pulls the ball, then decides to throw a lateral behind the line, which is then recovered by Tennessee, and then Tennessee gets the ball in plus field, and I believe they score on that possession. And the one common denominator in all these turnovers is, after the turnover happened, Jackson Arnold looked like he failed to take responsibility for anything. Like, and then when that happens, it's hard to grow when you don't take responsibility for things. Like, when you throw an interception and you're blaming the other person for running the wrong route, or you fumble the ball and you clearly fumble the ball, but both times you fumble the ball, you're saying, I'm down. Or when you throw the ball, that's a lateral. You just stand there with your hands up and look completely distraught as you're walking down off the field, and because you're so angry at the refs or whatever. I mean, the lateral was maybe forward, but dude, it's too close to even risk that. Like, if you're throwing the ball that far to the side, you have to know you're throwing the ball forward. You can't make that. And then fast forward to Mizzou. He fumbles on the plus side of the field again. And then once again, instead of taking responsibility for it, he sits there and blames the ref, and there's the whole I'm down thing. And on replay, you can clearly see that he fumbles the ball way before he's even down. And then the last turnover of the game, he has a relatively clean pocket, but he decides to scramble too early. And then instead of throwing the ball away, as soon as he gets outside of the pocket, which he should have done, he waits until he tries to make something happen. He almost gets hit, but he gets hit and loses the football. Like, what are we doing? He is not the quarterback at the University of Oklahoma after this year. I bet you that's why Kevin Sperry flipped his commitment to Florida State. Look what high school Kevin Sperry goes to. I would not be surprised if Jackson Arnold goes to Florida State after this year, or Notre Dame, or we can't have that at the University of Oklahoma. And I know Jackson Arnold is not the only one to blame, but he's the only one that has not shown progress. There's one member on the offensive line that hasn't shown progress either, but the group as a whole on the offensive line has shown progress. The group as a whole on the wide receiver group has shown progress. The group as a whole in the running back room has shown progress. The quarterback room has not. Is that due to the fact of a lack of a quarterbacks coach? Well, they got a real quarterbacks coach now in the room. Still hasn't gotten better. Only room that hasn't gotten better is the quarterback room. Maybe Hawkins has gotten better. Maybe you should run him back out there. He's already lost his red shirt too. I don't know. This year at quarterback at the University of Oklahoma is something I've never seen in my lifetime. I mean, I remember thinking that Landry Jones was bad because he followed Sam Bradford. Like, Sam Bradford would have made anybody look behind him look bad. People hated Dylan Gabriel. But when those are the worst two quarterbacks before Jackson Arnold that we've seen probably in OU uniform, I mean, we would kill to have Spencer Rattler right now. When Spencer Rattler is your worst quarterback to play for your school in the past 20 years, that says something. And then we have this guy come in doing what he's doing. It's inexcusable. It's not what we do here. It's OU, man. Bring us an offensive coordinator that can bring us a quarterback. Because Jackson's not it. I still think we should keep Hawkins in the room if we can. Let him redshirt next year. We wasted his redshirt this year, at least. Maybe let him redshirt next year. Because, if everything was according to plan, he probably wouldn't have been there next year anyways. He wouldn't have been playing next year anyways. He would have been on the bench still behind Jackson. So I think OU has some decisions to make in that quarterback room. Are they able to keep Hawkins too? So, all right, that's all I got to say on Jackson Arnold, and I hope he finds a better home somewhere where he's comfortable. But I don't think OU's it.